Just getting some things set up. I'm going to run my wizard today. Alright. Welcome to cell. Ready to go. Oh, let me pull up chat. Alright. Protective warding for more defense. And everything except those options. Let's get experience in here to level up a little. Yeah, no worries, no worries. There are some loaded statements there. Not a weapon the class would use normally. What do you mean by that? No. I get what you're trying to say, though. Yeah. Okay, so you can hear me. I was like, do I have to type? No. Okay. Oh, no, you do. Okay, let me stop for a second real quick. All right, I just typed all of that in one go, so I don't know how bad the typing was. Oh, and it yelled at me for typing too many words. Okay, let me split this one up. Okay, yeah, I think that got it all. Okay, I forgot what I was doing, so give me a second to reorientate. Got both traps, nothing else on the map. Okay. Don't know why I still do that. I don't need achievement point credit on this account. One secret. Too secret. Yeah, no worries. None of these matter. No, it's a bad. Well, I guess we could always see the day where Mirren's like, you know what? We need to bump these numbers up again. But otherwise, yeah, not really much of a point. Kitty cat. I just was doing a run. No, I can't. Okay, a few scritches. Alright. No, no, no. You need to go. Go sit down. Yeah, just because I don't want to have to rerun several times, I'm going to go prioritize experience since most of the other stats don't matter, and I already picked up the Frost Shell and one level of the Aura Recovery, so I don't super need any other perk at the moment. Cool. Getting a ton of experience right now because I already picked up an early tome of experience. I have the buff for an additional 100%, and then I have 100% from my class perk. So I shouldn't have to worry about experience of this game, and I might even get it before I finish Quartz. All the way to 845, that is. Because all the experience buffs are multiplicative with each other, so the 100% is literally doubling. Not just a plus 100%. Like a lot of other abilities do. I'm gonna get rid of some Shadow Curse, I can mix them up. Thankfully I have a level 700 Rogue, so I reduce trap damage by 99.5%, basically. So most traps I can just ignore if I don't feel like paying attention to them. I could probably speed run through this now that I have drums and just go straight to bosses without stopping for things because I got all the important stuff. But I like picking up stuff still, even if it's not 100% necessary. All right, get that one out of the pool once I have taken both levels of it. Oh, that's equipment. Never mind. Didn't even need to come up here. Hopefully not, at least. I didn't see the secret yet, so I might still need to. Yeah, a lot of the optimization for my runs at this point is less like gear optimization and more just being able to quickly identify what I need to pick up. And I think I did need to go up there because I think that's where the secret is. No, it's not. Okay, it's over here. Like, if I wanted to be a lot faster, I'd be skipping a lot more of the chests and the secrets because I don't need them to actually clear stuff anymore. But I'm already starting to do a lot better about not picking up every equipment and resource crate. Because with the Shady Dealer perks at this point, like you saw, I got 15,000 plus stone from one trade. If I were to open up a crate, I'd get less than like 200 of a resource. Just the matter of scale is literally not worth my time to go and pick up resources. Because that time could just be spent making the run quicker and getting another Shady Dealer. You know, it's like, it's the same reason Bill Gates doesn't stop to pick up $1 bills. And obviously, this is still a game, not a optimization factory, so it's still fine to do things that are suboptimal, as long as you're having fun doing it, but, like, after a certain point, don't think that you have to do stuff to make your account better, if that's your goal. There we go, got some Shadow Curse. I don't know why I grabbed this. I'm thinking, oh, I need to get the Pyre, because I need that achievement. No, that's my other account. I'll still do it, but... yeah, this account does have all the achievements, so... Blessing of Wisdom. Oh, right. Well, now I cannot get the Monument for more experience, but I get a consistent 25% buff. And the 25% buff is not 1/4 of the 100% buff, because the numbers you actually care about are 125 and 200%, because you have to add the base 100 when the multiplying occurs. So really, the 125% buff is almost 2/3 of the 200% buff. Brain fog, sorry. My brain was like, wait, is that math right? I think that's right. Yeah, I think it's a 66% buff. I don't know. I'm not going to worry about it. It basically just, it's not 4 times as good is the main takeaway. It's less than that. Why not? But yeah, you can see, as I was saying, like, you're not really approaching a limit at this level on what I can do. Like, there are some guys that will hit me very hard, but my damage is at a point where I just plow through enemies. They do not provide very much resistance. It's more about who can Nova each other first at this point. But a lot of that's also because my wizard's a lot higher than everybody else, and my stone donations have fallen a bit by the wayside. Yeah, short sword is a little bit too good. I would not be able to kill that fast with an axe. And mind you, this gear is also 10 levels below the cap for the weapon and offhand. And for everything else, it's more than 50 levels behind. So it's not even like I'm running at peak efficiency at the moment. That being said, each level, as you get higher up, is less and less valuable, relatively. Just because you have so many stats already. Not always. Like you said, I took a little bit of a hit there. But the reason for that is, let me just open up the titles real quick. My Smith bonus is giving me 524% extra regeneration from potions, regen, and health gain. And then on top of that, I have 3,700 vitality, which you saw adds together to be, without Nova, almost 1,200 health per second, and then Nova doubles that to 2,400 per second. The focus doesn't matter because I'm not using mana much. Like, I am casting haste and a magic missile every once in a while. But the load that actually puts on my build, especially since magic missile's level 1, you know, there's some crazy people in the world. So maybe, I think I have. How much does an apple? I'd have to find an apple to see. I probably have the most time investment of people that I know. I will say that. But I'm not confident to say that there isn't somebody with a similar autistic proclivity to gaming that I sort of have. And I am saying that in a position of somebody that is autistic, not like as an insult. So I don't know if anybody else has picked this up as their sort of hobby that way. I can tell you how much this one does. That pumpkin was 3,100. So a good chunk from the healing pickups. 4 levels. It's only the last level, so I could probably skip most of the courts. That'll be nice. Yeah, the experience scrolls at early games actually matter. They are much less significant at the point that I'm at, because they stop growing after they hit about, I think, New Game 10, which is a little bit sad. Gotta be careful, this boss could one-shot me if I position myself poorly. But it did not matter, got him first. Yeah, if he does the explosion into a corner and all the things hit me at once, and stay on me, and then it's like, nope, you're dead. I wouldn't mind that, honestly. Well, the only thing I would mind is like archers and wisps. Because like I already don't take the options to lower the density. I occasionally do if I've already maxed out my level, but I think it's I don't often max out my level before I do a run. Sometimes if I'm farming epics. Which, granted, epics as an outlet, they're not super great because you will get limited experience buffs because you have less options in the run, but you can still get a bit from the boss clears. Nothing here matters. Yeah, there's nothing on this map I care about. I got the trader. Yeah, just confirming a level capped. Good. Oh, I can't. Secret. If I see the secret, I have to take it. It's a rule. Yeah, short sword too good. Will I be... I probably could have one-phased him there, but I killed him before he started his attack animation. Or I phase transitioned him, not killed him. Oh, hopefully that's not just me streaming. I'm not getting that many frame drops. Personally. Yeah, and runs get pretty quick. Like that one is only a 23-minute run. All right. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Let me just... Boop, boop, boop. I pressed the wrong button. I pressed C. For some reason, I was at the shop. I was like, I'm clicking you. Why are you not? All right. Yeah. Obviously, level 845 on this guy. My other characters. My extra bank person who holds stuff that I don't want to forget where it's at. And then, yeah, rogues 700, 460, blah, blah, blah. You know, I could probably just open up the titles and do the same so you can see what the benefits of those are. Like, I get a bunch of spell power, which doesn't really do anything from Wizard. But Wizard Transmutation is just the best. So, you know, you live with it. Rogue gives a ton of trap reduction. Then the others really start to significantly fall off. Like, Ranger is decent with the weapon power. Warlock is good for resistance, but you get more health eventually to the point where the resistance is so negative that even the amount you get here isn't super relevant. Definitely true for warrior health. That matters so little. Like it is 5% of my health. Armor is almost completely irrelevant when I'm already in the negatives as much as I am, and the damage that kills you at higher levels isn't physical typically. It's typically going to be lightning elemental. And then sorcerer down here giving me the total 40.9 mana regen per second, which doesn't help me at all because I already get enough from the passive focus that I get. Yeah, it doesn't matter because none of the builds that I have use mana extensively because weapon builds are more powerful. And then with the donations, which I briefly showed earlier, yeah, 305% weapon damage, 246 spell damage, which I've stopped donating a little bit ago, but you know, it's not going to go down there. And then just generally almost 75.5% less damage taken, which I'm going to buff that up just a tiny bit for finishing that because I got 37,000, but you know that's going to bump this 8 to a 1, maybe a 2. Yeah. But, you know, it's bit by bit. Yeah, and what I do with wood now is the most logical thing. I get a auto clicker and I do this. Nope. Do I not have my macro on? Have I just... Oh, I have suppression on. That's what it is. Okay, one sec. Gotta turn my suppression off so that I can actually start my auto clicker. There we go. The most fun experience in the game, and I didn't even get that much wood. That was one wood shady dealer trade. I've gotten as many as 6 before, I think. And then I'm sitting here for a good minute selling some of the 100,000 wood. More if I go multiple runs without doing it. But, you know, it was actually a decent shady dealer run because I got 3 good trades in. This goes quicker because it's 3% every time. Yeah, and the thing that isn't super, super, super is that a lot of the builds become very similar, because that was the transmutation, but like, you know, if I wanted to play a yeah, ignore all that. If I wanted to come in here and play a different character, like, you know, yeah, let me go on my rogue. Let me see what that's going to be like. I have not played him as a sword because I was still using two-handed axes, so I'm going to have to shift around everything. I just don't need it all my gold. I'm done. Alright. Well, this is the reason why I carry 5,000 wood just around. So if I do something dumb, I'm going to need to donate some of my stone too. That's sad. I still have enough to pay for respecs. And that's going to be the most expensive respec there. Switching axes to swords. I think it was axes. It might have been daggers. I was not paying attention to what it was set previously. This is going to be a lot cheaper, but still kind of expensive. And then the fun part again. Let's see, what's the most expensive item here? 2329. Okay, 2329. That's the number that I need to hit. So if there's any questions anybody have, I'm probably going to have like 2 minutes of just doing this, so... That's an exaggeration. It's probably going to be about a minute. And Rogue is one of the classes that I really enjoy playing, but kind of frustrates me because it's evasion based, but evasion is not statted out to be better than damage reduction. It just makes damage spikier. But they're treated as if they're equivalent in game. And then there's also just monsters that ignore it anyway. So you really just get less defenses than everybody else, which don't particularly like. But the trap damage guild title is huge, and otherwise they get some decent passives. And obviously I'm going to be juicing him with my high level gear because I can. Alright. Let me make sure I can equip everything and that my math was right. Alright. It was. So now everything else goes into vitality. Which isn't too much because the gear is so overstated that most of my points went into dex. But that's fine. I don't think I want to be dropping bombs at all. So let me turn those off. I just have Fan of Knives. Go on that interval. Alright. You know, let me equip the cape. That would be good. Okay, New Game 137 is its current highest. That's what you get to get to level 700. Or 136 is the clear, but yeah. What do I want here? I'll do dashing of sidesteps. There's not really a particularly strong option for a melee rogue, so I'm just going to go with that one. I could do something to keep my attack speed topped off from Slice and Dice with Agile casting, but I don't super care about that because it's a decent amount. But I'm going to be in combat a lot anyway, and it stacks up very quickly. Nope, 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 nope. I really wish it would save the Architect options between runs, but maybe we'll see that in the next patch. Probably not. Nothing there, right? Okay, yeah. Yeah, unfortunately, because I'm not a transmutation wizard, I don't just get the flat passive 25% extra movement speed that for some reason they get with all the other benefits they have. Which is another reason I don't super like running characters that aren't the wizard. Yeah. I mean, hey, you know what? We can hope that's an early Q2. Like, it could be March, right? Like, late March, early April? Ah, who are we kidding? We know it's going to be June. I definitely think... I'm definitely hoping Miran's getting some good support from the Team 17 guys to help with stuff. I think the community reception for the Epic stuff has been decent. But I think there's definitely some people that were expecting a few more sweeping updates with the gap between that patch. So I don't know how people are gonna be receptive to what probably is going to be another 6-month break before another patch. Like it's gonna have to be a big patch for people to care, I think, unfortunately. Oh yeah, also I don't get the extra free 100% experience from class perks as being a rogue. More reasons to complain. Which means I actually have to kill more guys. I think there's a perception that when something is a DLC versus just a content patch, there is definitely both good and bad an expectation of significant change or value, regardless of what it actually is. Which can attract the attention, I think, of more people, but it can also put people off if they don't feel like they're getting their money's worth. Oh, pardon me. Oh, had a family call, so sorry for the delay. No new questions to ask, though, so just back to the run. Thankfully, it was not a work call. My work picks up around this time of the year, so it can be slightly annoying if something blows up outside of work hours. or normal work hours. Any time is work hours in today's America. Did I get the secrets? Oh, I think I got the secrets. Yeah, short sword is a little bit too powerful, I definitely think. And like we said, next patch is sometime between March and June, so I don't think they're going to fix it anytime soon. Yeah, when I was originally using it, I was like, oh yeah, shield's the better option because I'm not noticing much damage difference when I'm using my hand crossbow. And then I realized assumptions I was making about the hand crossbow were wrong. Crit does not... Huh. Can I? I can restart the game. Okay. You can pop multiple screens up at once, I suppose. Press things just right. Sorry, distracted. Crit does not work the same on weapons as it does spells. Crit damage and crit chance on a weapon only apply to that weapon. So after I started messing around more and put the two-handed crossbow with things that did apply to both weapons, namely weapon power and sundering for armor penetration, I realized that, oh, no, this is doing a lot more damage than I thought it was. Like, with the shield, it's comparable to, like, the two-handed axe. It's like 30 to 40% better than the shield if you use the hand crossbow damage-wise. As well as, you know, just hitting things further. Even more so now that the axe has received its nerfs. Well, nerf is not the appropriate term. After the bugs that were increasing their damage have been removed. For now. I hear there's more issues with it that might get addressed. Reading the modding channel discussion. Which, honestly, at this point, I think that was only applying to the epic weapon. I would probably just change the values on the epic weapon instead of... yeah, instead of correcting them to not use the binding that it was. That's just my personal opinion. Because the two-handed axe is I'm feeling a second place to the short sword at the moment, and it requires you to adjust your build in a peculiar way, using strength when you know, normally you don't want to do that, because another issue, strength is an incredibly poor stat. Yeah, and I still have a bunch of... I was going to show my character sheet, but it spawned me next to enemies. First. I still have a good deal of regeneration, but because I'm not a transportation wizard, I have to put stats and dexterity, which means less than vitality, so I have about half of what my wizard does. No, it's not. I'm keeping the drum. I'm not going to trade it for 2,300 wood. I sort of need it on this build. Because I need to kill things quickly. Because I don't have defense. Oh yeah, it's a good stat stick. It doesn't need to be epic, but being epic does give it more levels, which is nice. It takes the same place a tome would, in that, you know, you hold it and will never ever press the button. But that's a consequence of the mastery system, where you don't want to split up your masteries between two weapons. And the fact that the range on the short sword is just better than the 3 shots on the crossbow. Even, like the crossbow gets 1 pierce, where the short sword just, you know, doesn't care about piercing. It just goes through as many as it can. Which is incredibly potent, and I'm not quite sure why it was given to the short sword, but not things like the longbow or the heavy crossbow. Like, if the heavy crossbow had unlimited pierce, it would still be bad. Remember when I was talking about how I hate playing rogues because you'll just die out of nowhere? I missed my chance to evade, apparently. Uh, I didn't even get a level out of that. Man. Waste of time. Yeah, that's sort of what the gameplay ends up being like. At high levels, where everything feels kind of samey. The only difference is how good you are at taking hits. I mean, it is a stat stick. I don't know if I can equip this level of gear. I can't. Not without sacrifices. Okay. Let me see. What do I have that is around 1960? Okay. I don't think this will give me enough either. Well, now I have wood to sell, so that's fine. Because I'm going to be transferring all my builds over to Dex builds anyway. I'm hoping I only have to put Dex on one piece of gear, but if my math is right, it's not going to be that lucky. No, I'm bad at math. Okay. Oh, I switched out there. Hmm. Okay, what's my next highest cape that I can wear? 262. Hmm. No, I'm just gonna switch off. I'll take a damage loss. Being able to stay alive is also an important feature. This gives me the vitality to do so. Damage should be made up from the rest of the gear. Yeah, because I'm only running this, like, 400, or only 300 levels of gear higher. So, it's going to be a bit tough. Oh, yeah, I need to change my spec. Because I don't need Dark Ritual anymore. Yeah, this is gonna be a fun run. Because I am, yeah, I've switched a bunch of stuff around, so we'll see. I'm just guesstimating how this should be at high level. I have not run this specific one yet. But I have a bunch of gear to compensate for that, so that's fine. Yeah, I'm gonna drop Impetuous Apprentice, so I just won't care about Soul Shroud being 100%. And I'm gonna pick up Double-Edged. Just for fun. And I'm gonna take the thing that makes all of my attacks, that proc Essence, bleed. And then we're going to go from there. This worked at low levels, so let's see if it works at high levels. It probably works better at high levels, but we'll see. I'm not sure about the healing portion working, because I think I might kill them before bleed gets applied, which is a problem. That's what it does. But it looks like it's still going off some. That's okay. That's not too bad. And once I pick up the healing on essence trigger, it'll also help keep that bar higher up. Because doubled edge is definitely a double-edged pick. I'm not wearing thirsting bracers. I'm stupid. So, never mind. That's doing nothing for me. I was like, why? I feel like I should be healing more than this at the very least. That's fine. More damage, more power. I knew I was forgetting something. Yeah, so that healing is just my innate healing at higher levels, which is a bit silly. Can't believe I forgot the thirst. I only tried this out in low levels because I didn't have a critical bracers, and it was working well. I don't know if I'd try it for other classes, because this seems a bit problematic if they don't have built-in healing. I don't know if the DPS gains, which there are definitely DPS gains to be had here, are worth it. Yet. Just need to donate another 3 to 4 million iron, and I'm sure it'll be great. Thankfully, I should be able to get actual healing for too long. Especially if I just do this. No. 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 Oh, look, healing. I'm sure the 90 Shadow Curse isn't going to come back to haunt me. Now, with how over-leveled this gear is... Oh, never mind. I thought it was going to be more armor than that. Shoot. Never mind. I'm still used to wearing strength armor for a lot of these classes. For the two-handed axe. Yeah, I'll pick up the 2 necklaces. Is that enough? Yeah. Fine. It's big loss in damage, but I've already botched, or healing, but I've already botched the run for healing and survivability. So, might be a little bit more risky. Where is this exit? Am I blind? Oh, here it is. Secret. Alright. Yeah, Shadow Curse is going to make it a little bit harder for me to find secrets. That seems to be the biggest downside at the moment. Yeah, let's pick up Markham's. I have no reason to, but none of the other greens were good. Because 150 armor or resistance at this level does nothing. Oh, duh, I also have 90 Shadow Curse, so that's why my negative armor's so negative. Simple things that you forget. Yeah, if I could get the Fire Whip for some more essence procs, that would be great for my healing. Hey! Thank you, game. Yeah, I really don't mind Shadow Curse from a damage perspective most of the time, except for the really hard levels. But it just makes it a lot less fun to play when you can't see stuff. Obviously on Rogue, it's a much more serious deal, but a lot of the characters feel a lot stronger the higher up you get. Rogue is an exception because evasion is bad. And like picking up that, I got 20 stone and 20 wood. You can tell the difference between that and like the trades for thousands at the frickin' shady dealers. Why bother? And the answer is you don't bother. How much of my negative armor is from Shadow Curse? Okay, half of it. Okay. So Shadow Curse is literally doubling the damage I'm taking right now. Which, honestly, isn't that bad for 90 Shadow Curse. Like, that's kind of what you expect. Yeah, I'll do more damage. Why not? Ow, trap damage. Ow. Let's not do something stupid like that. I think there was experience up there I could have got, but the scroll's not that big a deal. Equipment, don't care. These are all so bad. I think that's 2 of the experience pieces for the neck. I think I got the common one already. That's good. Oh, 30. You know, it's that SpongeBob meme. I can actually read it this time. Usually you can't. Alright, reduce that Shadow Curse by 6. Now we're talking. Oh, I think this character was 5 behind on their levels. So, yeah, I don't think I'm going to level cap. Because I think they were set to, they should have been 500, but they're only 495. So it might be worthwhile to just kill everything in the higher levels, even if I do get all experience items. Catch them up. Wisps are a lot less annoying with a short sword than they are a two-handed axe, but they're still annoying. Yeah, what's my cap? 505? Yeah. Okay. Yeah, because I think I purposely was doing super quick runs, just skipping everything on this guy for a bit. Half of my Shadow Curse is gone. Woo, 42. That's the answer. Although I should have checked this first. Did I... It's showing the wrong level of lash there. When did that start happening? It used to correctly show what you would get instead of what you have. I don't know when that broke again. I was like, I'll pick Fiery Lash if I don't have it there, but I don't care about the damage, I only care about the fire procs. Ow. Ow, ow. That did 100 damage. Ow. Trap is so deadly. So deadly. Sorry, I like facetiously claiming about the harms of trap damage because of the 99.5% reduction. Makes me feel like leveling that 700 levels into Rogue was worth it. Imp, where you at? All the way back there, okay. Oh, got rid of the rest of the Shadow Curse. You know, normally I'd complain about that. Because normally, if it's high enough for it to be an option there, I was purposefully taking it. But no, this time I'm actually thankful. If I knew that was coming, I should have taken all of the Shadow Curse from that thing. Alright. Belt to the Brute. Topaz for some more damage? Sure. And then those are worth a damn. Belt of Alacrity, good. Finally got some attack speed going. We're not going to find drums. Oh, I need to change the whip. I just realized this needs to be P, not a K. P casts as fast as it can. K casts every second. Basically, a little bit less for my auto hotkey, because I'm not going to kill my hands pressing a button every second just because. Alright, let's see how fast we defeat the hardest boss in the game here. Oh, not too bad. You know, Muffin, I feel like we should ask Mirren if he meant for drums to be 120% attack speed. I was thinking about it the other day. I think it might have meant to be 20% attack speed to be more in line with other stuff. Because yeah, it is just so much, and I think I actually been thinking about it lately. I wonder if that's been a mistake. Because it doesn't state the value in the text. And with the recent errors being caught with the bindings, I think it might have been a conversion oversight. Like, it's been that way like that since launch, and it's a big reason it's like, I'm like, oh yeah, this is 100% the best green in the game, and then it's like, you know, it is conveniently, when I was actually looking at the number of what it is, it's 120% attack speed. It's like, well, that sounds like that might have been supposed to be a multiplier, a 1.2. But no, it's just plus 120%. On both attack speed and cast speed. So it's on two different stats, which would make sense. Like, if it was 20% on two stats, that would be in line with, like, Alacrity. Or Torque of Alacrity. Although I don't know if I want to be the person that gets the bad cred for nerfing or telling the dev to nerf the best item in the game. Yeah. I mean, it is a fan favorite item. That's why I'm a bit hesitant to even bring it up. But like, I don't think finding a single item should be that hugely significant on whether or not a run is successful in the early game. because it literally doubles your damage, regardless of what build you're playing. There are literally epics which do nothing for you at the same time. Well, that's just an uncommon. That'd be funny if I don't even get the 5 levels I need to catch up. Or to catch up to the previous 5 levels behind that I was before. That experience is so flaky at high levels. And it might 100% be intentional that drums are just a big buff. But the more I've been thinking about it, the less likely it seems that that might be the case. Ow, that hurt. That was a silly thing for me to do, but I was getting a bit impatient on clearing. Yeah, and one of the things that had me thinking about, because like also having it that high trivializes a lot of the things that are in the rogue's tool belt that give it attack speed. Like the rogues get slice and dice, which gives them 60% attack speed when fully capped, and that's like the most attack speed a perk can give you in the game. And drums just comes in with one item and doubles that. And then also gives you cast speed. Let me make sure I'm not full of crap on the amount. Is it procced? It's not procced right now. Okay. Well, I have a long way to go on that. Alright. Info, stats. Weapon speed. Was I too slow? Alright. Maybe I'll check later. Maybe it doesn't, it might not even display. Let me check drums. How long do they last? Okay, so it should be. Okay, it was still going, so it just doesn't display here. Alright, never mind. I guess because it doesn't actually have a buff associated to it on the bar. I kind of wish these ghosts gave a little bit of experience. Things that they choose not to give experience are a little bit weird. Like, there's a bunch of summon ads that will. Like those skeletons right there. They're crawling. But the ghosts, nah. Also, for some reason, Snake Boss and totems don't give experience. What's up with that? Although, serpents don't give experience, but the monsters that they summon do. Go figure. Hey, come back here. Yeah, as I'm getting millions of experience here, just go pick up the scroll for a quick 70,000. So little. Nope. I think totems. I know serpents for a fact do not, and I think totems also don't. I know Arista does. I know maybe it's Shadowface. I can never remember if it's Shadowface or Arista that doesn't. I remember it's one of the two intro bosses. Shadowface I could kind of get not giving experience because like you're really just killing the cultists, like you're not really killing the boss. You kill a boss when you kill Avatar. So like okay, fine. I'll have to check and pay attention next run if it's which one it is. Because it's in my head, it's the serpents that's the bigger slap in the face. Like, what? How is this not a boss? Or how is this not a monster worth experience? More damage. Alright, I've almost caught up in levels. Gosh, going so slow because I have to kill everything. Alright. Only 6 more levels to go. Which I'm obviously not going to make. Well, you say that, but Harbingers do give experience. I'm pretty sure, at least. Sorry, I got a Discord ping. Nope, just a buddy. Okay. I will answer that when I'm done the run. know, I think I might start going back and working on my mod that I kind of threw my hands up at a while ago. Get rid of all the talents that just are bad in the game. Replace them with something that's, at the very least, quirky, if not good. I got Paladin and Sorcerer done, which are the ones that need it the most. But I don't know. That might actually be something people might want to see me work on. Do like IRL coding streams. Be like, okay, well, I know I'm bad at writing code. People can watch me be bad at writing code. A lot of it is just S-val manipulation, though. It's not even real coding, so... Alright. Yeah, I still haven't even caught up from the 5 levels. But yeah, you see, dead, no experience. I'm killing everything, that's right. So don't bother with puny pools. Thankfully, because I don't have to stand in the middle of it. I don't have to be super careful with fools. Because short sword is not a very melee coded weapon, ironically. Which I think is better for weapons in general to have longer range like this, to be able to deal with the other problems that this game has with melee. Let me bring up Discord, see if anybody's looped anything there. Make sure. Not missing people. Okay, cool. It's like we were talking in the Discord questions chat, and I just completely minimized that earlier. People are still posting there. Okay, I've caught up to 5 levels behind. Do not have very many items for experience, so I don't actually think it's worth my time to full clear here. And again, I do have a large pack that's right at a good point that you might make some good progress on. And maybe not. I think so many times was getting a lot of crits on double-edged, which was making me fall below the threshold for launching my swings. Yeah. Let's just kill the boss. I do have D&D soon. Alright, start your swing. Okay. Kill him, kill him, kill him. Ah, shit. So close. Need another crit or two. Ooh, 45-minute run. That was pretty slow. But I was doing a lot of talking, so I'll blame it on that. Alright, I think I'm actually done for the night because I have a D&D game to prep for. But it was fun to talk with everyone. Nice having you in here, Muffin. And we'll... yeah, I'll post when I'm streaming again. Peace.